Good morning, gang. I just got out of the shower. I have been busy this week. We have a lot of junk going on. One of my company's biggest clients has a thing today, and I have to be there at 11 and be there till be there in I don't know, late afternoon. I don't have to be there all day. So I have to be there though in about 2 hours. So I may have to get a company vehicle to go over there. So yeah, life's good. How are you all doing? John Oliver first in the house. First in the house indeed. So yeah, I'm not going to be here for the full hour. I'm only going to be here for about 45 minutes because I got to walk Maggie. It depends if my guy wants to take the company vehicle over. They're going to be serving beer at this event, craft beer. And I may want a beer, but I really can't drive a vehicle that belongs to the company. In my own vehicle, I could have a beer and do that. So there you go. What else is going on in my little world? I don't know. The fish are good. I'm behind on maintenance. Got to get that done. I have been just working my tail off. Doug Gray, the super secret interdimensional time traveler, Peter Thiel. Well, that's true. So life is good. It's been busy it's been really busy. That's all I can tell you is that it's been exceptionally busy. And so that's nice. But it's good, by the way, having Maggie back at home. She's in her little kennel right now. And it was hot as hell. Today, it's only going to get up to like 90. It's like tropical. It's like cool. Yeah, last night when I went to bed, it was 100, just about 100. My air conditioning couldn't keep up with it. So my house is at 74, which I hate. I like it cool. So Maggie woke me up, I don't know, like 10 or so, because I get up really early. And so I went and I stepped down the air conditioning and, dropped it to 72. And then Maggie woke me up at normal wake up time, which is about, 3:30. I took her for a quick walk. I went back to bed and dropped it back down to 70 where I like it. Interesting. Yeah, my problem is where the thermostat was put in this place is a little bit goofy. My home is relatively new. So my home is, let me open up my first beer of the day. No, I'm not having a beer. I'm having a Diet Dr. Pepper. It's sort of like on the other side of the living room. It's also where the air is drawn back in. So I kind of think that there may be an issue there. Hey, good evening. Good morning, Chewy. So I went and, it is what it is. I believe, this is Joplin, Missouri. I may have to get up there. I have to borrow a neighbor's ladder. I have a good size ladder. I don't have that big of a ladder. I need to get up to my attic and take a look around and see how much insulation is up there. I may have to have insulation added. So there you go. Let's see what else is going on in my world. I don't know. Just been so busy with work and stuff like that. Living after midnight, or as I say, nothing good happens past midnight. But again, I'm up at 3:30 in the morning. I have noticed, by the way, when you drive early in the morning, you'll occasionally see a deer. But this is not the time of the year to see deer. Normally, when the weather is, there's green on the ground, all that sort of stuff, the deer aren't moving that much. Coast to Coast happens after midnight. That's correct. With George Norrie from Ancient Aliens. Yep, life is good. So I got up this morning. I mowed the front of my yard. It really hasn't rained. It has not rained that much over the past about 3 weeks. We're actually kind of in a drought. We got a little rain last weekend for a little bit. My backyard is okay, but I'm gonna probably go out tomorrow morning, nice and early, because I will say this about the battery operated lawnmowers. Quiet. I got a call from the office today from one of the guys at the office. I was mowing on the lawn and could still hold a conversation. So there you go. It makes more noise if the grass is longer, but there you go. New England Lendler, good morning. Yeah, so that's been some of the stuff going on. I have to, though, figure out the insulation thing. Yesterday, the power company set out a peak alert that there could be rolling blackouts. They want me to raise my air conditioning to 78 degrees. Let me tell you, there was no way in hell that I do it. Now, for peak usage stuff, I actually ran my dishwasher yesterday morning at 4 a.m. and I did a load of clothes at 4 a.m. So my power usage was, other than AC, was relatively minor. What's up, John Oliver? Yeah, I'll tell you what, dog days of summer. Now, has it been hot in Philadelphia? No, it's been hot in Arkansas, where John is. Next time Maggie goes out of town, John. Yeah, I've been really busy as well. Next time I go out of town, I have like a weekend and what have you. I'll drive down and meet you and Logan with Ambist Aquatics. We can meet down there. Yeah, 90 plus 70% humidity. Yeah, it's been that way here. Yeah, the office has been real busy. My corporate boss called me yesterday, like as I'm getting ready to leave the office for the weekend, with like a laundry list of things, of ideas on the top of his head, which is great. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Friday at about 12:30, I usually leave the office at about 1. The only thing I'm thinking about is Ancient Aliens, eating something, and drinking a beer. That's what I do on Friday afternoons. Yeah, that's my deal. I'm glad I didn't set up outdoor tubs. It's been way too damn hot. Biggies, what's going on? Yeah, it was really, really cool in May. So you felt bad about putting fish out there. Because we had, in like the middle of May, we had days where it dropped down to the low 40s a couple of times. Well, that ain't going to work for tubbing. I have all the stuff, and then it became, 98, and I'm going, this ain't my year. Canadian holidays, busyness, Chewy. Yeah. Yeah, it's all good. Heard back from my employee about whether he wants to, because I'd really like to have a craft beer. Craft beers are my friend. And craft beers are my friend all the way around. Just been, again, it's a lot of going on in the fish room, catch up on my maintenance, all that sort of stuff. I have fish going out tomorrow, not tomorrow, on Monday. It's and by the way, anyone who's ever gotten my sword-tailed guppies will tell you they just reproduce, reproduce, reproduce. Well, I got a note from a guy, and I generally get about 60% female, 40% male, depending on the drop, some or 50-50. I get a note from a guy who bought swordtails from me about a year ago. He said that he all of a sudden now has 7 males and no females. He said all of his females died out and all the fish that grew up were males. And he loves them. And so I just sat there and I'm going, okay, I'll send you a bunch of females. I have never had that. Normally, when people get the swordtails from me, uh, you know, it's what to do with them all's the deal. Hey, Melvin, what is up, my friend? And I won't be here through the entire deal because I've got to go do this thing today. And I've got to go do it and get that in place. It is just, it is, unfortunately, I just gotta, I really appreciate people who are customers and clients at my office. I really like them. And you got to serve them. You just have got to serve them. And so I do whatever I can to make sure they're taken care of. So I got to go do this thing today. Now the deal is that they're going to be cooking steak. So yeah, I'm going to be suffering, drinking craft beer and eating steak and burgers. How bad can that get, really? It's I mean, talk about yeah, I think we'll do that. It this time of year, by the way, in the summer, how many people are going on vacation? Have you guys have any of you guys gone on vacation this year? I was out for a weekend, but it was family stuff, and I had to pick up Maggie. I have not been on a vacation. Last time I went out of town and took a vacation was around Thanksgiving. Have any of you guys gone on vacation? Just curious. And just going through there. I am a big fan of getting out of town doing vacation, but I just haven't done it. Hey, Melvin, when are you flying to Philippines and marrying your girl? We want to know. You've been seeing her a long time. Got to go marry your girl and bring her home. Yeah, it's all sorts of stuff there. I have also been, not just work, and I mean, I swear to you, it has been over the top busy, uh, which is great, but it's also, you know, there's something about the dog days of summer where you're not running all the time, and that's what I've certainly been doing. That's sort of the deal. And so you'll go out and figure that out. And yeah, so let's see. By the way, um, as you guys go out and do this stuff, I have not. Chewy, send it to me. Send me a link. I've been listening. I have Sirius XM in the car, primarily for music because I'm not at the stage of life where I'm going to go see a yacht rock concert. So I listen to a lot of metal, new metal, um, alternative music. I listen to faction punk. Channel 314 if you have Sirius XM. I enjoy it very much. I enjoy it very, very much. And so I highly recommend that you look forward to trying it out. It's all good. I've been listening to a lot of, uh, I've been listening to a lot of different stuff. I went through a period there where I was listening to a lot of Leonard Cohen. I was really not that familiar with Leonard Cohen, and for whatever reason, thought, hey, let me try it out. And yeah, I like that. Then I went and listening to a lot of like the new folk, Mumford and Sons, Judah and the Lion, the Lumineers, which was really, really good. And it's yeah, it's by the way, I just saw something. Monkeypox was spread at a bathhouse in Dallas. So I'm just going to give you a little helpful advice. I generally don't give people personal life advice, but this is Mob Guppy. We sort of just shoot the stuff here. And you know what I was about to say, but it's a family broadcast. Um, as a general thing, for those of you playing along with us at home, uh, monogamy ain't that bad. I know variety is the spice of life, correct? But there's a real good reason for monogamy. And part of it is monkeypox, which apparently is not a sexually transmitted disease, a la herpes or AIDS or syphilis or whatever. But apparently it is if all of a sudden it's how you get it is having your skin rub on the skin of another. Well, I hate to tell you, least for me, my skin isn't rubbing up against just random people. It's usually with my lady, and no other time. I'm not like going up and rubbing my skin on people. So yeah, monogamy not that bad. It's life advice may not necessarily be one of my real stuff. And yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Miles is heading in the direction of world music, indigenous flavor. Yeah, it's very cool. Acoustic. I go through like world music stuff. Chewy, I can handle it in small bites. Is that I'll occasionally go and listen to uh in very small bites. I'll just listen to to world music on the streaming service, and I appreciate it. Not necessarily my deal. I prefer music that is honest and aggressive, and it does. And those two don't necessarily have to meet. Honest music, with people talking from their hearts, or aggressive music, like the Octane channel on Sirius or Liquid Metal. I like that a lot. I my deal on nostalgia, and it's so easy to look back on things. And for those of you who are watching who are like under 40, it it really becomes tempting for you the older you get to look back, because it's so easy to look back at times in the past and say, "Oh, wasn't that great? Oh, wasn't that wonderful?" At the time, you probably didn't think that much about it. So yeah, so just as a little helpful hint, there's great stuff always being made, great movies, great music. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. And so just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. By the way, I have yet to, and I don't know if you saw the footage of this, like on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook. A bunch of ladies got upset at a shop that apparently sells fries because you had to pay extra for a dipping sauce. Hate to tell you this, if you go to Raisin Cane's, or if you go to Zaxby's or some places like that, they'll give you one thing of dipping sauce, but the second one, that's from your pocket. I have yet to start trashing a place, and I get it. Business tough all over. Things are tough all over. But yeah, a little helpful hint. So, I don't know if we talked about this last weekend, but I'll bring it up again. So, Maggie, in 1 year, I will have a house full of puppies. However many she has. And part of my arrangement to get Maggie is that her breeders get to choose the first sire. And so they were going back and forth. For a long time, we're talking about a dog named JJ. He's a dual champion. He's a nice line breeding for Maggie. There's a lot of good to have with him. He's not particularly a big dog. Neither is Maggie. And so they're thinking that her litter needs to be with a dog who is bigger, unless Maggie gets bigger in the next year. I love hearing Native American drums. Chewy, send me a link. So so now they're thinking of doing sort of like a Mississippi wedding. she may be having a litter with a half brother from the same father. Now, purebred dogs, just like guppies, they occasionally do inbreeding or line breeding, close line breeding. The good news about this for Maggie, it's not that bad of a deal because she's an outcross, a complete outcross. Her father's an outcross. His grandmother is an outcross. I mean, just a lot of outcrosses where there's not a lot of close relations, maybe generation 4 or 5. So technically it could happen. So Epic is the name of the dog. And I kind of like him. And now the deal is that I don't know if I'd keep a puppy from the litter, but yeah, I would be going in right from there. And let's see, where is... Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if Epic is going to be a part of the deal or not. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It'll be fun if it is. So we have a year to figure out who she's going to be spending some quality time with and making some puppies. Yeah, so other than that, let's see here. I've got to go and I really got to do maintenance. And this weekend ain't going to be it because today, when I'm done speaking with you guys, probably in about 15 minutes or so, I think I've got to go to the office because I haven't heard back from my buddy Ted. And if that's the case, there you go. There you go. I have not, Chewy. I had a former coworker years ago. He was all in on drum bands. All in. Any variety, any way. And I worked with this guy for a few years. Really good guy. He's no longer with us, passed away. He got the cancer. Cancer sucks, everybody. And yep, I heard a lot of drum stuff, and a lot of it is very, very cool. There's one out of Minneapolis. Let's make sure I have their name right. Savage Oral Hotbed. Savage Oral Hotbed. They're very good. And they're a lot of fun to see in concert because they all dress like inmates, which I think is a good look. I'll put up a link to them. And the guy who is the leader of the group is all from there. By the way, I've been spending a lot of time with the Quapaw Nation. One of our company's big clients is the Quapaw Nation, which is they're not part of the Sioux Nation, but I believe they're related to the Lowland Sioux. I've heard of the Black Keys, not the Blackfoot. The Blackfoot Indians, by the way, Doug, I think, have a presence in South Dakota near and tribe is the best word for it. And Blackfoot and Blackfeet. So, and a lot of these groups, by the way, a lot of these Native American groups, they're, they're part of the same group, the same thing, but there's a difference over time, and they have separated. So, yeah. And but I believe I'm looking at the wiki right now. Yeah, big into in Montana. Yeah, Alberta, Canada, and I have a question. What tribe? Let's see here. Tribe in South Dakota. Just out of curiosity. 9 tribes, and yeah, it so yeah, it's fascinating. And each Native American group's a little bit different. By the way, it's true. I'm a Marianne guy. Marianne from Gilligan's Island. Absolutely, much more than Ginger. Even though I think Ginger is the only one still alive. Tina Louise, I believe, is still with us. How old is she? She's got to be in her 80s, right? 88 years old. Tina Louise, has a daughter, and who is probably older than me. So there you go. And her daughter, is 51, so my age, and is an author and has a couple of kids. Neither of them mine, and I don't know if she has monkeypox. Oh, and she wrote for the CW's 90210 and Melrose Place. Also been a writer for Love, Wedding, and Marriage. And yeah, being an only child of that, yes, it's all good. All good indeed. You'd rather have Elvira? Yeah. But I hate to tell you this, Chewy. Elvira ain't interested in you. Where I think, Ginger and Marianne were. Yeah, no more bikinis for Tina Louise, 88. Blackfoot and Sioux. Yeah. Yeah, the different Indian tribes are real interesting. Is that and here's the thing a lot of people don't understand is that some of the tribes I mean, their ideas on almost everything are really, really diverse. It was the Sioux that took out Custer. He had it coming. The Blackfoot were not involved with that. Yeah, the Sioux Sitting Bull. Good times. Oh, Crazy Horse, Crazy Horse. The Black Hills, they're still building the Crazy Horse deal. I look forward to that being ready, and of course, it's the Badlands. What's the name of that, Doug Gray? The Badlands Guardian. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's very, very cool. I like the Badlands Guardian. That's sharp. Sharp all the way around. Hey, Vinosky Tanks, how are you? One of those episodes on yesterday. Yeah, I saw it on the Ancient Aliens. I was watching. That's when I came to the top of my head. It was a chief Crowfoot of the Blackfoot that saw it, that Canada was not involved. Huh. Yep. All sorts of stuff going on. It's have you guys had rolling blackouts where you're at? Uh Gas has gone down a little bit in price here. I paid like 407 this week, which seemed like a value. Uh but it's gonna go back up. Oh, that meeting where the white man speaks with forked tongue came from? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there are a lot of lawsuits having to do in the US, and a year or so ago, the US Supreme Court made a ruling, I think it's called the Byrd decision, having to do with Native American tribal members being arrested for crime. Uh, this guy was arrested for, I think, murder or something like that in Tulsa. Tulsa, Oklahoma is part of Native American country, and so the Supreme Court ruled like a year ago that uh, that people who are tribal members should be only tried by the tribe if it's on tribal lands. So that is leading to all sorts of lawsuits. Now, the Supreme Court ruled, it was kind of an interesting ruling. A lot of Native American groups said, finally, and they started suing over different things, like first is tax revenue on tribal lands. A lot of times states are receiving income tax revenue on tribal lands, and sales tax revenue, property tax revenue, and all that sort of stuff. And it's going to the state government instead of to the tribal government. I don't know how much this is going to go in, but obviously our Native American friends were not treated properly, should be treated properly. I have no issues with it whatsoever. I have a great deal of personal respect for folks who are Native American, who are part of Native American communities. All right, gang, I've got to walk Maggie, then I've got to get ready to go do this thing. Thank you so much for being at this early time. Hopefully next week, knock on my computer, we'll be at a normal time. Thank you guys so much, and we'll talk to you later.